Welcome back to Everything Meta. Quick shout out to all my subscribers and viewers. Really appreciate you all being here. If you have not hit the like and subscribe button, I'll give you a quick second to do that right now. Beautiful. All right. Now let's dig right in. Today we're going to talk about Republic Realm's 2021 Metaverse Real Estate Report. Now I've talked about Republic Realm before, but they're one of the top investors of the Metaverse real estate industry. So let's dig right into this report. Now, this might be a little bit of a longer video. I'll try to shorten it, but let's just see what they mentioned. So just starting off with what is Republic Realm? As I mentioned, they're one of the most active investors in and developers of the metaverse real estate ecosystem, owning over 3,000 real estate NFTs across 24 different metaverse assets. So they invest, manage, and develop assets including NFTs, virtual real estate, metaverse platforms, gaming, and infrastructure. So let's look at the introduction here. 2021 was a groundbreaking year for the entire metaverse ecosystem. We've seen a lot of mainstream interest, driven a lot by celebrity and brand partnerships. There's a huge surge in valuations, and a growth in play-to-earn gaming as well contributed to this as well. This report goes on talks about the macro trends within the metaverse industries. It hits on the four main blockchain-based metaverse platforms and does a quick qualitative review of other platforms as well. We won't get into every single thing, but I've highlighted a few things that I think we should kind of look at real quick. They start off by defining what metaverse real estate is. The metaverse, an expansive and interactive virtual world built like video games that reflect an alternate digital reality where people socialize, work, play, and transact. And they're built on blockchain as well. Now, metaverse real estate refers to the land assets in these worlds. They are built on blockchain, and you can buy them and sell them as NFTs. This is what makes what makes the metaverse real estate. And what you need enough people to believe that this virtual real estate is scarce and holds value, that it then becomes something of value. And we're seeing ownership becoming a status symbol among early adopters today. So as I mentioned, you can invest in virtual real estate through the purchase and exchange of NFTs, and each NFT is distinct. So instead of like having a traditional deed or title for your house, this NFT shows that you are the actual owner of the virtual real estate. Now, what they talk about as well is although the number of daily active users is pretty low, they're expecting this to really take off, and they're expecting a lot of mainstream products and companies to really start selling their products on these virtual worlds and making it a very cost-effective marketing strategy. They paint a picture of imagining the possibility of Nike having these, instead of having stores everywhere in America, they have this one huge, nice, amazing store in the virtual retail within the metaverse that can sell to literally anybody at any time, anywhere within the metaverse. That's an interesting concept. And the metaverse has really gotten a lot more attention after Facebook renamed itself as Meta. Facebook's signal to the world was clear. One of the most influential tech giants deemed the metaverse to be the future of the internet. And to understand the scope of how much it increased, what happened was after Sand, this is the native token for Sandbox, was trading at 99 cents prior to the Meta's announcement, Facebook. And afterwards, it increased up to a record high of $8.4 a share. That's a 748% increase. While Decentraland's token, it increased 662% from 76 cents to 5.7 cents. So, Sandbox and Mana, they've seen incredible valuations, reaching almost $20 billion at $18 billion for Sand. And you see right here, this is exactly when Facebook changed their name, and just the growth has been ridiculous. I mean, we've seen growth before that as well. That's really when it really took off. Between the Meta announcement and the time of this publication, which was the first week of January, the average land prices in Sandbox increased by 349% from 2.7 thousand to $12,000. Decentraland also saw similar increase to an increase of 13.6%, but a growth is a little bit lower at 26%. There's been other assets that have been sold on the metaverse. There's a digital yacht that I talked about also in one of my previous videos called the Meta flower super mega yacht that sold for 149 ethers, which was $650,000 at the time of sale. So in the metaverse, each user is represented by an animated avatar, and each animated avatar can be designed and dressed with, with all different kinds of aesthetics, with real world fashion, clothing, accessories, and all these accessories are usually also NFTs as well. So we're seeing a lot of luxury brands as well starting to really get into this industry as well. Adidas, as well, also launched their own avatar initiative where they're partnering with Bored Ape Yacht Club to create a series of NFT wearables. Nike also, which I put a video out, acquired Artifact in an effort to help sell NFT metaverse sneakers as well. And you're seeing ultra luxury brands such as Gucci selling high end handbags in the metaverse, which is that's insane. Like there's a lot of value that's coming out of here, and we're gonna have to see what happens. And why is this all happening? Also, it's because of there's a lot of celebrity, a lot of celebrities and influential figures are beginning to enter the metaverse to expand their brands, social media, and press headlines, which has as a result amplified a lot of the activity here. So there's been a lot of hype driven by celebrities as well. For example, someone bought a Snoop Dogg has some land on Sandbox, and someone bought land right next to Snoop Dogg's development for $450,000. So that's a heavy price tag for someone to pay on the metaverse just so that they can say that they're neighbors with Snoop Dogg. That's insane. Republic Realm, which is we've been talking about, they made the most expensive virtual land purchase in history when they bought $4.3 million land in Sandbox from gaming giant Atari. So that's another ridiculously high number. And we'll see what they plan to do with the land. They're gonna develop it. They mentioned using it as a space also to advertise for other companies to advertise in there as well. So if you can create a hub where everyone comes visits you, it can be a very valuable because it's all about land, and that's driven by where people are in scarcity. So, and I won't get into this too much, but this section talks about the four main pioneer metaverses. There's Decentraland and Sandbox, which you guys all probably know. There's also cryptovoxels. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, and somnium space. I won't go into each one, but I'll talk about. But we'll look at what a number of defining characteristics. So within each of these metaverses, they have seen significant user interest in game asset sales figures. They're all free to play, and they have a finite number of NFT land, of tokenized land. Their land can be bought and sold in primary and secondary sales in marketplaces like OpenSea. And virtual land owners are free to determine what to develop on their digital property. There's no stated objective. Like people can do whatever they want on these land. It's like owning a house and doing with whatever you want with your house essentially. So and this is kind of this is a map of Sandbox. This kind of shows you how it's kind of all laid out. All these bigger ones are owned, like here's a Republic Realm one, here's a Atari one. This is a little bit outdated because there's a newer one that shows some of the here's Snoop Dogg for example right here, and so forth. Let's keep going along here. This is just some of the other platforms as well. Somnium Space. They all look really promising. So let's look at the average prices. In June 2021, the average price per parcel for land in each of the four pioneer metaverses was $6,000. By 2021, their average prices doubled to $12,000. So $12,000 for land in the metaverse. That's insane. And similar to land in the real world, a core driver of metaverse land value is perceived by scarcity. Each metaverse has a different number of total land parcels, which is outlined in a metaverse's white paper. Scarcity is an underlying driver of value in all virtual worlds. And the way you calculate the total value of all of the land is by just simply taking the average price of each parcel and multiplying it by the number of parcels. The founding team for each of these metaverses, they're motivated to support the value of these holdings by encouraging development and selling new blocks of land slowly so as to not flood the market and erode their price. If you may have noticed, Sandbox doesn't, they haven't released every single plot of land out for sale immediately. They do it in slow steps, releasing some amount every few months, and that's the reasoning why they have to they can't overflow the market in order to price. So across the four pioneer metaverses, there's almost 270,000 total parcels. Sandbox overall has the highest amount of land, but as a result, the floor price, the price per square meter is a lot less than the other ones. But overall, Decentraland is the one with the highest value. Or my, yeah, no, the Sandbox is the one with the highest value of land, and that makes sense given they have the highest amount of land as well. And the way we should think about this as well is like what makes the land valuable and so forth is by thinking about Manhattan. The property in Manhattan is very expensive. It's valuable because millions of people over several centuries have built things there. Offices to work in, theaters, and restaurants for entertainment, schools, housing, and so much more. Manhattan derives its value because of the quality of its development and the collective's societal belief that the real estate there is valuable. That's the idea that Republic Realm is planning on doing. They're planning on creating, acquiring this land and then building on it, building restaurants and entertainment centers, areas to work, areas to house avatars. And the idea is hopefully people will start coming to their areas and just really, really being a part of it. So you can see here, now the total parcel sold, total land sold, it has hit records before, but it's starting to really pick up. It picked up in November, but the reason why you see the total amount decreasing is because the price per each one has increased by a lot. So it's getting a lot more expensive. So when you look at this chart from the value, that number does go up with more. Although it's getting more expensive, total amount of volume being put into these land is increasing. And as we mentioned before, this is right around the time when Facebook renamed themselves to Meta. So that's when we saw a lot of attention, and as a result, the value has gone up with people buying more and spending more money as well. So the Sandbox's success seemed at least partially attributable to its release during a time of high mainstream interest in the metaverse. So yeah, that's like there's a lot of hype around it, particularly as I mentioned with Meta, with Snoop Dogg, all these people buying land. It really brought the prices up. So today, only like less than 25,000 people own metaverse real estate, and Republic Realm has really made a big bet on this number going up and people really visiting metaverses. So it's going to be interesting to see what this number increases to by the end of 2022. Is it going to reach millions? Is it going to reach hundreds of thousands? Or is it just going to, stabilize around that number? But what we do know is that the average price per parcel of land in each of these four metaverses is between $10,000 to $15,000. So it is pricey. It's not cheap. It's not that easy buying land in the metaverse when you don't even know if it's going to keep going up or not. For now, what Republic Realm is stating is that Sandbox appears to be the clear metaverse winner in the space. And this is just driven by strong content, engaged communities, dynamic gaming mechanics, and user-focused experiences. But we may see new metaverse platforms launch that really hit on all these different areas and end up being the go-to. We'll have to see. So this section right here, Republic Realm talks about the other metaverses as well. I won't go into too much. I won't go into this at all. But you guys are more than welcome to check it out. This section might be just an area that I cover in a separate video as well. There is so much going on. There is so much to read. It's a really interesting report. There's just a lot more. Like the metaverse real estate is getting pretty insane. We're gonna have to see how 2022 ends up rolling out. I have no idea. Is it gonna maintain its growth? Is it gonna slow down? With the way that crypto has been decreasing recently, it seems like there's probably gonna be a slowdown. But if we get more of the mainstream folks like Adidas and Nike really promoting it and buying land and just developing there, we might start seeing a lot more happening. A lot of these Sandbox, a lot of them are in beta mode testing still. or they're not officially launched yet. But once we see those official launches, we could see, you know, a lot more people joining and being a part of it. That's all I got for you guys today. Come on, join me next time as we kind of keep going deeper into everything meta. And yeah, I'll leave you guys there. Thank you.